Well, hello there. How is everyone? I hope you're all well. You amazing, beautiful people, you. Yes, that's right. You are looking absolutely amazing. And this is video 2 of 2. And what are we talking about? We're talking about Sean Doherty, and we're talking about that question that I said in the first video today, and that is, can we really trust law enforcement to do their jobs? Do they really have the, the public's best... their best intentions? Do law enforcement have their best intentions in the forefront of their mind? Are they looking out for us in our times of need? Are they able to be turned to, and you can trust that what they do is right and proper? Because you'd hope so, wouldn't you? You'd hope that they're doing what's right and proper, because a lot of you guys think that they're not, there's nothing wrong with them. There's no fault. So I'm going to read you something. Anyway, do you know who Sean Doherty is? Sean Doherty, by the way, was a young lad, young boy, 12 years old, who was found in a predicament. He was found in his garden, deceased, attached to a swing set in his rear garden, attached to it by a shoestring. And they would go on to say that he had done it himself. This was self-inflicted. Case closed. Go away. But yeah, his hands were tied tightly beside his waist. So tight, in fact, that they struggled to get the belt off him that was attached to him, attached to his arms beside him. His feet had been de-shoed, but his feet were clean. His glasses had been thrown across the grass, and a motorcycle helmet bag had been placed over his head, and he had been dressed in none other than his stepdad's clothes. Now, don't get me wrong, the family here, in terms of, I know what some of you will think, well, the stepfather did it. You have to think about something here, and I've said this in the past. What is the relevance of the stepfather's clothes? Let me know down below. Answers on a postcard, please. What would be the relevance of the stepfather's clothes? And why wouldn't law enforcement even consider looking into that, even if they want to say that this young lad done this to himself? Why did he do it to himself? What, again, without repeating myself, what was the relevance of the stepfather's clothes? Parents worked for the Pentagon, of all places, as well. And listen, and on top of that, his younger brother said that someone else had been in the house at the time. Yeah, I'll shit you not. Anyway, I'm going to read something. This is actually from his mum. And this is kind of an update, because they've got a large following online. And so they said, when your neighbour sells their house, moves to another town, and then their new house gets raided by the FBI. Weird. Yeah, it is a bit weird, isn't it? You can see why they might want to question that, because the neighbours, it was always questioned how the neighbours didn't see anything, bearing in mind that the fence was about 2.5 foot tall, and you could clearly see into what was going on. But no one sees anything. Like, same old story, innit, where nobody ever sees anything when something happens. But I'm going to read you this. This is it, right? So as we're quickly approaching the anniversary of Sean's death, so this was back, the anniversary was in April, by the way, so this has gone back sort of a few months, but things haven't changed. This is pretty much as it's continued to be. As we quickly approach, and I have spoken to the family, by the way, as we're quickly approaching the anniversary of Sean's death, we felt we owed you an update. First and foremost, we want to thank everyone for sticking with us this year and supporting us as we try to figure out what happened to Sean. All of you are amazing. Over the past several months, our lawyer has met with and communicated with the Sheriff's Department in an attempt to facilitate the investigative process. As of today, we still have not been given access to the case files. This is the parents, by the way. And our Freedom of Information Act request has not been honoured. There is no intention of sharing anything with anyone at this point. We were told in December that the FBI was brought in via a behavioural unit task force to analyse Sean's behaviour on his phone. We were ecstatic, and we were told to hold tight. We were promised access to their findings or conclusions when they were done. They wrapped up, we believe, in January, so nearly a year ago, and we were told each week that the report was coming and we would get access. Just last week, we were told that we would not get access, but that the sheriff's office would like to sit down with us and explain what was on the report, but not show us. Where's that sound familiar? We can't show you, just trust us that it's there. This has been the theme the entire year. Multiple sit-downs, multiple emails, explanations, yet no actual proof. Each and every time we just have to take their word for it, while our investigative and legal teams have not been allowed to review anything themselves. Recently, Sheriff Montgomery reached out to several of our old neighbours and asked them to hold a meeting and invite him so that he could speak to the neighbourhood about what really happened and set the record straight. Again, just more of the same thing, them talking with no access to any of the victims' families or even taxpayers who fund this department. We have to take their word for it. Someone took the bait and is holding the meeting 2 days before the anniversary of Sean's death. What is this department trying to get in front of? Why on earth would they taint the neighbourhood on the anniversary of his death? Are we not allowed to mourn the life of this child on the anniversary? We are so disgusted with this department, with the people who are supposed to protect us and our neighbours. This is rarely calculated, unkind, and just flat out cruel to do on the anniversary of the death of a child. This department does whatever they want, wherever they want, without oversight and certainly without an ounce of empathy. If you live in York County, this should disturb you. Victims deserve access and answers. Taxpayers deserve the same. Everybody deserves empathy. There you go. What does that sound like? Request for discovery? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to 10. I know 9's fine, 10's mental, but same situation. Same old story. This is law enforcement, an operation that is supposed to be there for people. Paid for by the taxpayers to provide a service to keep the public safe, to come to them at their time of need. And what do we see here? Fuck all. We see them seemingly claiming that the impossible happened and they've got reports to prove it. You just can't see them. Just take our word for it. Let me know down below. What do you think? Justice for Sean. I'll catch you all in the next one.